This is a Switch Lite, and this is the AYANEO AIR. Before we start this video, I have a question for you. Would you expect to be able to emulate most of the systems that exist from the last 20 years, including PS3, Xbox, Xbox 360, Wii U, and Switch on a device that is only slightly larger than a Switch Lite? Well, strap in, because that's exactly what the Air can do. How's it going, everyone? Taki here. Thanks for tuning in to another video on the AYANEO AIR. If you like content like this and you want to support my channel, please consider subscribing. It really means a lot. In my last video, I covered the hardware, design, and PC gaming performance of the AYANEO AIR. In this video, we're going to look at the emulation capabilities of this machine. Because this screen is a key aspect of this product, I am going to include a lot more systems in this video than normal. I also tried to fulfill as many viewer suggestions as I could while making this video. We will jump around quite a bit in this showcase, but we will start off on the low end with NES emulation. I will also point out that I did not try to min-max the TDP settings for this video because it would become an unruly mess with how many systems I am filming. I set the TDP to 15 watt and allowed the system to use as much power as it needed. Moving on, here we have Super Nintendo with the BSNES core. Now let's take a look at N64 performance with the Movement 64 Plus core. I am using 1080p resolution for this, with the wide adjusted setting to fill out the screen. Let's take a break from Nintendo for a bit and hop on over to Sega. Here's Genesis with the Genesis Plus GX core. When it comes to Saturn emulation, I opted to use the standalone version of Yaba Sanshiro. I have the rendering resolution set to 1080p, and I am using the game TDP setting in IS Space, which is the 15 to 16 watt setting. For Dreamcast, we're going to head back over to RA with the Flycast core. These games are upscaled to 1440p, and I am using widescreen hacks. In this section, we will group GBC, GBA, and Nintendo DS together with a variety of cores in RA. Please excuse the fact that this is not recorded with my camera. I was originally not planning on filming 3DS because it wasn't working with the latest AMD drivers when I went to film the rest of this video. I had tested it out without any issues on the drivers that came with my device, but I had to update those drivers to fix another system in this video. That update caused an issue with Citra because of some OpenGL conflicts, but it turns out that there is already a fix in place with the latest Canary build of Citra. So we're going to take a look at 3DS performance on this device, and the recent work that AMD has done to their OpenGL driver is on full display here. We have these games upscaled to 1080p, and they are nearly flawless. We still have some shader compilation lag, but this is the best that an AMD APU has ever done with Citra.
Listen. I believe in you. Let me try.
Be careful.
I've got you. Yeah.
In this section, I will group all of the PlayStation systems together up to PS3. Let's start with PS1 using the DuckStation emulator. I have the rendering resolution set to 5x native for 1080p, and I am using PGXP and widescreen hacks. Next up, we have PSP with the PPSSPP emulator. For these titles, I have the rendering resolution set to 4x native. To test PS2, we will use the PCSX2 emulator. The build that I'm using supports fractional resolutions, and you will see me use it in this section.
Oh, come on. Get back here, will you?
To disable help desk messages, please select option from the pause menu. Gadgetrons.
Rounding out our Sony section, we have PS3 performance with the RPCS3 emulator. Testing this out was a bit annoying, as it usually is on handhelds like this. I experienced random crashes here and there on easy games, but I still managed to get 5 games for this showcase.
toners were supposed to be peaceful.
What kind of... You stand in my way, you're gonna die.
Okay? Go on.
That's what you want.
Get yourself
Then
killed
get
on my
mine.
account.
More? I'm really hungry, so I better end this quick.
This is the first time that I've ever filmed Xbox emulation on a handheld, and I was pretty happy with what I could get out of the Air. I had planned on using XMU and CXBX Reloaded, but a recent GPU driver tanked my XMU performance, so I had to cut the games that I was going to film with it.
One for you! Speed slash! Slice and dice! Slice and dice! Coming through!
Moving up from Xbox emulation, we have Xbox 360 with the Xenia emulator. Now 15 to 16 watt TDP is a bit low for good Xbox 360 performance, so you would probably want to emulate this system with the device docked and a manual TDP adjustment of at least 20 to 22 watts plugged in.
Engaging close combat.
Now let's take a look at Gamecube performance with the Dolphin emulator. I use the game TDP setting for this entire section, but you could use a lower TDP if you also wanted to lower the rendering options. For these games, I try to target 3x native resolution.
Well done, Dr. Sim. Back here.
Mario!
Continuing with the same emulator, we have Wii Performance. For these games, I try to target at least 2x native resolution. We have 2 systems left before we wrap up this video. Let's look at Wii U performance with the CMU emulator. For all of these games, I left the rendering resolution at 720p, but you could improve performance or battery life by picking a lower option. Finally, we have Switch performance with the Yuzu emulator. This one was a bit annoying to test out until I installed the latest driver updates available for this processor. After doing that, performance increased, and games that were crashing out of the box ran without any issues. When it comes to the practicality of emulating the Switch on a handheld like the Air, it doesn't really make a lot of sense due to the power required and the fact that the Switch is already a handheld with better battery life playing its own games, but it is still cool to see with an OLED of this size. If I really wanted to emulate Switch on this device, I would probably do so docked so I could raise the TDP up a bit and get some better performance. Anyway, that's it for this look at emulation performance of the AYANEO AIR. I am pretty impressed with what I was able to get out of this little thing, and I think this showcase speaks for itself. This is above average performance across a lot of emulators for a device of this size and form factor. There's also no questioning the fact that some of these games really pop on this screen, so much so that some of the footage in this video looks fake when I'm watching it back. It's very strange. As always, I'm interested to know your thoughts down below. I have one more video planned on this device, which will be my full review. If there's something that you want me to include in that video, leave those suggestions or requests down below. Consider subscribing to the channel if you aren't already. It's free and it helps out more than you know. Happy gaming everyone. Taki out.